all you young boys and girls out there. Welcome back to the online classes. Today in this series, we will shift our focus from the prose section of your class 12 book to the poetry section. And as you may be well aware, the first poem in your book, Flamingo, is My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. My dear children, before going into the poem, let me talk a few lines about the poetess here. Kamala Das basically hails from Kerala. She is a renowned poetess who is known for her poems on human relations, values, emotions. Kamala Das uses her pen name. I hope you know the meaning of pen name here. Pen name is a name used by a poet or a poetess exclusively to write the literary pieces. That's not the legal name of the person, but just to write the poems or proses. So Kamala Das's pen name here is Madhavi Kutti. She used to write her poems, her proses by the name Madhavi Kutti. And this poem, My Mother at 66, has been categorized as a lyrical idiom. What is a lyrical idiom? A lyrical idiom is a literary piece which is beautifully woven saga of emotions. A literary piece which talks about emotions, human values, human relations. Now we move on to the poem, My Mother at 66. Poem begins. I have divided the poem into 3 stanzas and we will see one by one. First stanza. Driving from my mother's home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother sitting beside me. The first 4 lines are hardly poetic. They convey a straightforward message that the poetess is driving and she is going to Cochin. And then she notices her mother beside her, just next her, sitting next to her. There is hardly any poetic element here in this line. We move on to the next stanza. She looks at her mother and then she realizes. Doze, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Pay attention here. 3 new words are used. Doze, open mouth, and ashen like that of a corpse. So ashen, corpse, and doze. D-O-Z-E, doze. Doze here means somebody who is lifeless, physically weak, lethargically, and sleepy. Her mother was doze. She was sleepy. Open mouth. She was open mouth. Her mouth was open. Doze, open mouth. Her face like that of ashen like that of a corpse. Ashen. The word ashen means ash, rock, like that of a corpse. Corpse here means dead body. So what poetess want to convey here? That the way the mother was sitting, or rather sleeping, she was no good than a dead body. She was lying down just like a dead body would lie. That's how weak she was. That's how old she was. And in the next line, she conveys the message that, and realized with pain, she was as old as she looked. What does it mean? It means not only she has grown old by number 66, she was 66 years old. She looked old as she was 66 years old only. That is, she is old by her numbers, that is 66 years, and she was old by her physical stature. When somebody looks at her, she looked like an old fellow. You may see there are people, those who are 70, 75, yet they are very fit. They don't look old. But that's not the case with poetess mother. She looked old. Poetess is really worried about her mother's growing age. Her mother reaching the age of senility. She is an old woman. There was tension. There was worry on her face. And the next part of the poem, she tries to overcome this worry by saying that, but put that thought away and looked out of the car, looked out at young trees sprinting, Why does the poet use the image sprinting? Trees cannot sprint. Sprint means running. So poetess used this image here that at young trees sprinting. You may have noticed whenever we travel in any vehicle, we may see that the trees, the roads, the buildings, they are passing us. Actually, they are not passing us. We are moving. So she brings out that image that young trees are sprinting and merry children come spilling out of their homes. The word spilling here means that coming out. So she brings in a contrast here. On the one hand, she talks about her elderly mother, a woman who is old, lifeless, energyless, lethargic. On the other hand, there are young trees sprinting, running, full of life, merry children, energetic, running out, playing, shouting, full of joy. So these two contrasting images are brought by the poetess to show this is life. This is also a stage of life, and the senility is also a stage of life, and the young youth is also the stage of life. We move on to the next part of the poem. She says, but at the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn and pale. Poetess here says that as she reached the airport and she went to the airport security check. After security check, before security check, she looked back again at her mother. She was standing a few yards away and she looked at her mother. As you may have gone to the airport, those who have gone, they may know that only the passenger can go to the security checkpoint, and the person, those who came to drop them, see off them, they cannot go. They have to wait outside. So mother, before entering the airport actually, and she looked back at her mother, and she realized she looked absolutely worn and pale. Worn and pale are actually synonyms of each other, both meaning same word, that is colorless, that is sickly. A person who is very sick, like you may have seen in typhoid, fever, the skin color changes. People, those who are sick, those who are not well. But with the elderly people, this is the perpetual state of their skin. They are pale, they are worn. That's what the poet taught here. Now comes the most poetic line of the poem. She says, as a late winter's moon. She compares her mother as a late winter's moon. What does a late winter moon represent? A late winter's moon represent here. When we look at the winter's moon doesn't have that glow, doesn't have that shine. It is covered by haze, it is covered by fog. So her mother's face was like that. There is no shine, there is no glow. That's why she compares her mother with late winter's moon. That is a sad state. That is not a state which is to be looked at as joyously, which is to be looked at as somebody who is very energetic. And then she says that, and felt old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. I repeat the line. And felt old familiar ache. She talks about ache, A-C-H-E, ache. Ache here means pain. My childhood's fear. Childhood fear means, what is she talking about here? My dear children, whatever, how much you may grow, you may be 15 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, but always there is a tension, always there is a worry of losing our parents. That's what the poetess highlight here, that and felt that old childhood fear. Since childhood, every child is afraid of losing the parents, that is death, the death of parents. And she says that ache again haunted me. I was worried. That childhood fear of losing the parent again haunted me. We all are haunted by this fear. That's what poet want to convey here, that she was worried that if she loses her mother, how this world will be for her. The person who taught her to walk, who taught her to eat, and the person who brought up her till here will be no more. So that's why she highlights that, and felt that old childhood's fear, the familiar ache, that pain, that suffering. And then further, but she cannot show that tension to her mother. She has to assure her mother that everything is fine, I am fine, you are fine, and everything around us is absolutely fine. And further she says that, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. by these lines, she says that all I said was, see you soon, Amma. That I will see you soon. I'll come back and we will meet once again. To assure her that everything is fine. I am very fine. You are very fine. And we will meet again. We will definitely we will meet. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. Mind you, smile here is fake smile. Poetess is carrying a fake smile. Why fake smile? Because she wants to assure her mother that I am absolutely fine. I am not feeling any tension. There is no worry. I am fine. You must be very, very relaxed. You must not take any tension. That's why I am smiling. That smile is fake smile. And that's why poetess highlighted the word smile and smile and smile. Poetess. And now, my dear children, we move on to the literary devices that are used in the poem. At various places, the poetess has used various literary devices. The first literary devices that is being used by the poetess is her face ashen like that of a corpse. Like, the word like, as you may know, that whenever the word as, and like are used to compare two objects, the poetic device is simile. So here the poetess uses the poetic device simile. The second poetic, we move on to the second poetic device, young trees sprinting. So this is absolutely imagery. Imagery means a collection of words that can make an image of something. So young trees sprinting definitely makes the image of sprinting trees, moving vehicle. Move on to the next literary device. The poetess has used here is as a late winter's moon. Again, the mother has been compared to winter moon with the word as. Definitely this is also simile. As and like, whenever they are used to compare, it is simile. And the last line of the poem, the poetess says smile and smile and smile. Repetition. This is repetition. A word which is used again and again in the same line is called repetition. These are the four literary devices that are used in the poem. When we go to the rhyme scheme of the poem, my dear children, this is a free verse poem. Free verse poem means a poem which doesn't follow any particular rhyme scheme. So this is a free verse poem. And on this note, I conclude today's poem. All the best to you all. Have a good time. Have a good day. Thank you.